All right, we're back, guys, and this is Unfiltered. I'm ChanManV, and he's Richard Lewis, and he's Destiny. We're gonna move on to the topic about Riot, Richard's favorite thing. We touched on Riot; it was a little bit of therapy, but I figured we'd continue with some more League of Legends talk to help Richard through his week. But lots of things going on here. I figured it'd be cool to have a general discussion about, I guess, teams and Riot making players more accessible and doing that in the form of these reality TV like YouTube videos. We really saw them with TSM, the Legends, that whole video series getting really popular. And now we're seeing Fnatic and Cloud9 also doing the same thing. They recently created their own series with their players. So I wanted to start off with you, Steven. We always had an issue with Korean players being accessible in StarCraft 2. And we're always talking about them streaming. They need to stream so that we can get to know them, or in their interviews, they need to learn English and all this stuff. But I feel like, personally, I think these videos are kind of a cool idea. And I wonder if that might have been an interesting thing, or maybe there's some kind of something similar to making these players more reality stars, a way of making them accessible. Steve, what do you think?
I mean, yeah, it's good for everybody. It's not really surprising that Riot would do it. I mean, Riot pays them all salaries. Riot will want their brands to do good because if their brands are doing good, the teams are doing good. If the teams are doing good, the LCS is doing good, and Riot is doing good. I mean, I don't think there's too much that's surprising about them doing this.
Yeah, why don't we see that? Why don't we see this with like a lot more other esports? I guess. I mean, we're seeing. I mean, these are successful. Lots of the community loves these videos. So why don't we see it in StarCraft? Why don't we see it in CS:GO?
For StarCraft, I don't really know. The Koreans, I mean, you were kind of talking about it during the break. The Koreans have always been just really, really bad at marketing their personalities. Aside from like MC and maybe Pulp, I guess Violet a little bit. Like a lot of Koreans had a lot of potential to be like really, really entertaining. Bomber tried for a little bit. He streamed in the Startail house, but like there could have been like most Koreans were just really, 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 really bad at marketing themselves. Those NST streams could have had so many more viewers if he wouldn't have just cheesed like 9-pulled every game like an idiot when he was living in the IM house and shit.
Yeah, but not really talking about streaming, right? We're talking about like teams.
Well, no,
really,
but I mean, it's all part of it. Like just the
Mm-hmm.
whole marketability in general. Like for whatever reason, Koreans just seem to not really grasp that very much. Yeah, so maybe with Riot holding their hand, maybe it's a little bit easier for them to get a hold on it.
I guess EG did a little bit of it at the time, right? EG had some of these more
EG and Liquid were like the only EG, even EG was on another level. EG was probably the only team in all of StarCraft that really pushed what you should be doing with terms of marketing your players. Liquid did to some extent, but they already had that huge site and everything, so it was almost cheating. EG's marketing was really, really good on their players. All their commercials with In Control and Idra were really funny, really well done. I still remember all the HyperX commercials with Idra and the fucking Bugatti or whatever, the fucking car and shit. Like, yeah, I don't know. EG's marketing was really good. They were the only team in StarCraft for all the shit I give EG, and as much as I hate them, they did that really, really well. They did their marketing really well, like no one else in StarCraft did.
But what's interesting about what they did with StarCraft is that all those things were more commercials, and they were more their personas that they adopt. Like Greg, for instance, Isra, right? He was that persona they made. Huck was the persona in those HyperX commercials. But these reality videos that we're talking about with the teams, they're just being real. They're being their normal selves, and they're trying to sell that and have that be accessible. I kind of wish they would have done that too with StarCraft, because they would have been able to. I don't know. Would that have hurt Idra's image? Meeting Greg. Greg's nothing like that image that he has.
Well, that's not true. What do you mean? Wait, what part of the image do you think is not?
He's not as.
He gets really fucking mad when he loses games. He's not like a huge asshole in real life, of course.
That's what I mean.
I don't think his image was ever like manufactured. I think it was pretty on point for the most part. I don't think he.
I mean, it was exaggerated. It was exaggerated by.
I don't know.
Come on, Greg in person is like real. I feel like he's a different. I mean, he's not purposely different, but he's a nice. He's a nice.
No,
guy.
he can just.
Really,
he
really
just
nice
knows,
guy.
he's just not autistic. He doesn't act like an idiot in person. He's not going to say and do like crazy fucking shit in person because he's like a reasonably intelligent person.
Okay, Richard, what do you think about this whole
Well, I
discussion?
mean, like first of all, definitely echo Steven's sentiments about what EG were doing. They were always really ahead of the curve in
Yeah.
terms of understanding the power of marketing personalities and sort of even in some cases, I would say quite blatantly doubling down and staying with players whose personality was pretty much all they had. They were never going to win games. They were never going to have deep runs into tournaments, but they understood the value of them regardless, which is actually super rare. Like a lot of, even now, like a lot of upcoming organizations think it's about trophies, which of course isn't always true. From
Definitely not true. Yeah.
when you're in a business that's driven by marketing, a marketing budget, yeah, definitely. In sponsorships, definitely not. But why don't we see it in other games? Well, the answer is, and this is a good and bad thing. It's a bit of a mixed one. You have, okay, so like in every other scene apart from League of Legends, it's like this organic thing. You have interlocking parts. You have tournament organizers that basically they take the game, they make their own product out of the game, they make their own broadcasting experience out of the game using their own talent, and they've got different ways of promoting the players and everything. There's actually no onus on them specifically to promote these players. It should be organizations that are doing it or whatever. So you don't really see it happen in the build up to tournaments. They will do like the odd featurette, but then it comes to the other problem, budget. Now, when you're running a tournament, no one makes money from doing events. No one. The money in events, the returns on it are minimal. People think like, even if you have a packed stadium and it looks great and you're still making a minimal return, the amount of resources you have to put into it, nobody gets rich off events. You need a supplementary business to actually make your profit. That's why, like, for example, the Face It model's so good. They got a pugging system, premium, all this online stuff that doesn't have the same level of overheads as having to get a fucking 100-man crew into a stadium somewhere in the world. And
it's marketing. It's marketing,
right?
so you can broadcast and everything. Yes.
Yeah. So because of that, do you then want to have to bring in a video editor, a camera crew, somebody good enough to be able to edit videos and stuff on the fly as a tournament develops, someone that can take the player, do a really good interview, chop it all together, make it look good, and put that together. And then what you do, like 5, 6, 7, 8 of those, and to keep the narrative going and the hype going. Big chunk of budget. People don't want to do it. Now with Riot, they control the product in its entirety. So they do have a vested interest in promoting the brands that feed into their league. I mean, keep in mind, eventually they're going to franchise. That's definitely happening. They've got auto relegation removed.
Yeah.
We're moving towards a franchise system. They want all these rich people who've made significant investments to not have to worry about losing their investment. They want to keep the venture capitalists and the philanthropists here, right? So they're going to franchise, and they control every aspect of it. So they have a vested interest in promoting the brands, promoting the players, and that's why they'll do and they've got a fuck ton of money because they're owned by Tencent. So they're going to spend it on promoting these things on behalf of the organizations because it's good for their business. So it's like apples and oranges, like they're not limited in the same way other people are. It's not like nobody looks at what Riot are doing and go, hey, that'd be really cool if we could do it too. It's just the returns aren't worth it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it definitely makes sense. I feel like these videos favor the players more so than the team brands, right? Yep. I feel like, again, they're making these.
Well, but these are symbiotic relationships. Like as the players get stronger, I mean, the brands for the teams do as well.
Yeah, true. But with the whole team versus player talk, I know, Richard, you're just obviously on the player side, heavily on the player side here. I feel like it is something that does leverage the players or build the value of the players more so. Again, it is symbiotic, but again, like it's symbiotic because the players generally bring the views, and then team having the player on that team most of the time, if we're talking about the star player, brings that exposure, brings that legitimacy or value to the team brand. So it starts with the players a lot of times is what I'm saying. And these videos, I feel like help whatever star player that they are spotlighting.
I think the tragedy is that you're right. It would help the players, but the players aren't in a position where they can really feel the benefit, because to even be in those videos in the first place, to even be in a gaming organization, you sign away all your image rights.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
but you still get, it's more about celebrity, right? And that's an intangible that's not
Yeah,
necessarily on a contract anywhere.
so
Yeah.
celebrity's good, but how do you leverage celebrity? Okay, for example, you might get an endorsement deal. I've seen this happen in esports. Players come in, sign away their image rights on a contract. Organization licenses those players out to be endorsed, or rather to endorse a series of peripherals, their name on the box, their face on the box. They ain't getting paid for that, by the way, brother. They ain't getting paid for that. That's just part of the job. No extra bonus, no pat on the back. And players are going, hey, look, it's cool. I'm on a peripheral box. You got fucked.
Yeah.
You got fucked.
Yeah.
It's not cool. You got fucked. So when I look at these videos, I think, yeah, isn't it awesome? They're really making these players look human, three-dimensional, look like stars. Shame they can't turn any of that into cold hard cash, like not as much as it should be. So it's a bittersweet thing for me.
Yeah, got it. Well, again, I hope we do see some more. I mean, you did make some good arguments there with just the whole CS:GO space, but I do like the videos though. I think they're really cool. And Scoots does mention that, yes, I know Evil Genius did have a documentary that was quite good also, but not having this nice little 10-minute bites. I think is weekly 10-minute bites are really, really nice from the standpoint of being able to watch it each week instead of having to sit for an hour or 45 minutes and watch an entire documentary. Okay, let's talk some Blizzard news. So Blizzard announced that even more money is being put into their esports, and this recent one was Blizzard putting $4 million into Heroes of the Storm for 2016, broken up into lots of different circuits and things. I mean, just there's different regions and things like that. But this is another sign that Blizzard is really trying to catch up in terms of joining the Riots and even the Valves from the standpoint of a developer taking huge steps into either controlling their esports or at least dictating the esports in terms of prize money and building it up as its own giant industry. What do you think of this, Steven? Heroes of the Storm, $4 million.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like Heroes is going to be what they want it to be. And it kind of seems like they're treading on old StarCraft water. If we just throw money at it, maybe somehow it'll catch up to where League and Dota are. I really don't know. I don't have anything good to say, so I don't really want to say much. It just doesn't seem like it doesn't seem like Heroes. It just doesn't seem like it just doesn't seem like Heroes is in a place where it's ever going to take over LoL or Dota, and throwing money at the pro scene just doesn't seem like it's going to change that. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens.
Is it okay for them to just be the third, MOBA esports? I mean, there's enough pieces of the pie, or the pie is big enough for them to just have even just a little piece of it. Are they going to beat League of Legends or Dota? Not in the future.
I think
not in the near future, and I can't see.
The problem
I don't even
is
know
that
if they
people
can
view
eventually.
it as like some kind of like League started to grow when there weren't all these MOBAs around to compete with it, like Dota 2. Oh Jesus, did Dota 2 come out before or after League? I don't even remember. Now it was after, right?
Dota 2 came out. Oh well, League was for League has been around forever.
League has been
2009. League was
when they started their beta shit. So I mean, League started to grow popular. Dota was popular. I know that Heroes of Newerth was fairly popular at the time. Then Heroes of Newerth started to fall off because they stuck with like some pay to play model for a long time that horribly fucking failed. League started to grow. Dota 2 was eventually released. Like all of these games like grew and had these established fan bases and didn't have all these other MOBAs that they had to compete with. Han fucked themselves because of their pay to play model. League got to grow and establish their own fan base, and Dota 2 got to draw all of their fans from Dota and being the original Dota. I don't know. I just don't see Heroes coming in and like scooting in and like taking a bunch of players. Like it really hasn't made a splash yet. The game is officially released, right? It's not still in beta or anything. And they weren't able to take away like any significant, like your release is like your first big bump, right? Like how many people are going to say, like, oh wow, 4 million price pool for Heroes, I'm going to go play that game now. Like it's just not going to happen. I just don't see it.
Well, I guess the question is, should they just not try? I mean, they have to at least try, right?
I'm very selfish. I would rather see the money go to StarCraft, but obviously that's like a really selfishly said thing. But I mean, I feel like StarCraft, they at least can say that like, hey, like we have the best and most successful real-time strategy game in the market right now, period, hands down. Like Whereas dumping 4 million into Heroes, I don't know. It seems like even Heroes players say the Heroes is a joke, but maybe I'm being biased there.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know. Shuhei had that post about how he was like really salty that the meta is like super fucking horrible right now. I don't know. I just don't see Heroes. I don't see a day where we like go to Twitch and like Heroes has like 60,000 viewers and everybody's watching it. Like,
wow,
how many viewers is it?
You don't even see them getting 60. That's not even that high.
Well, no, I'm talking like in streams in general. Like maybe for their premier events, they can get like 20, 30, 40,000 viewers. Like, look, like right now, like Heroes is 3,500 people. Their biggest streamer right now has 775 viewers. Like this show with a bunch of washed up has-beens has got twice as much viewership as their biggest streamer. Like, I don't know. Like it just seems.
I mean, this has been less than a year, right? Like they had that kind of half pseudo year last year.
Yeah, but less than a year is a good thing. That means that the game is still new and fresh. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Like, people are like, okay, now that this game is 2 years old, I'm going to go and give it a shot.
Well, I mean, from an esports. I meant from an esports standpoint, right? Like, it's hard when you release a game mid-year and then think about esports because there's not enough time to have a circuit, and you don't even know how the community is going to receive it, or just the general user base is going to receive the game. So last year was just kind of a mess, right, as to what they did with Heroes of the Storm. So 2016, I feel like give them a year, and then at the end of 2016, I feel like we'll all have a very clear picture as to what the future of Heroes will probably be. But Richard, what do you think of this? At least this attempt for 2016 and trying to make just a viable prize pool?
I just wish Blizzard would. I know it's so frustrating. They just don't seem to learn their lessons when it comes to the esports space. Yeah. It's just so frustrating because I think Blizzard make great games. I think they make great esports games, but their esports strategy is out of whack. It's crazy. None of it makes any sense. Like, I don't know if like looking out with Hearthstone, which they totally did, there was nothing about that game that should have made it an esports title.
Mm-hmm. Everything about Hearthstone has been surprising. The success of it and the esports, yeah.
So I don't know if that sort of look made them think, hey, fuck, we actually do know what we're doing when it comes to esports.
I don't know about that.
Because no, for real, because Heroes of the Storm, its design will never appeal to the average esports fan. The core fundamental way that it works, how like games are decided by the weakest link in the team. Like you don't see like flashy plays in the same way you do in League of Legends or Dota, where someone just does something that's absolutely fucking insane. It's about the teams, and Blizzard said they wanted that, but esports isn't ready for that. That's not how an esports fan thinks.
Yeah.
Esports fans typically follow players.
It's not even esports fans. It's general sports fans.
Follow superstars. I'm a Newcastle United fan. We're shit right now. We sold a bunch of players. I don't go with the players. Like I'm stuck with Newcastle for life. That's just it. Like that's
how we're talking general, like NBA. People follow LeBron James and the Cavs over like Spurs, who are just like the team, right? But they're boring as fuck to watch, is what people think. But when LeBron James, and the Cavs are there, everybody focuses on LeBron, and because it's about superstars, right? Yeah. Like individual superstars.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. I think Heroes can never have that. If you look at like Hearthstone, it's got these big personalities in it that have driven the
Streamers,
game. Yeah. And some of them are view botting their tits off, but like most of them are legit, right? So they've got these big personalities that are pushing the game forward, really entertaining on a stream. They elevate what is essentially a relatively simplistic card game into high entertainment through their personality. That's why people can get on board with it. In tournaments, you get to see that drama unfold, different personalities, different strategies coming together head to head in a duel. It's got way more going for it just on that entertainment level than Heroes has. And I say that doing a Heroes event, they made me host the desk when I was doing DreamHack work. They were like, "You're doing Heroes, cool." I did a bit of research about the game. Like, it's not that I got anything against Blizzard. It's not that I got anything against any of the people involved in Heroes or the teams. It's just that they've made some fundamental design mistakes, and as a result, that's what happens. You end up with not a great game. Now, Overwatch, I think with Overwatch, we're going to have a very different problem I don't know how you package a class-based shooter with so much going on for a broadcasting audience. And I've said this on this show multiple times. I think it's going to be a successful game, but I don't think it's going to be a successful esport. The fact they don't even do free-to-play. Has there ever been an esport that, like, real talk?
CSGO's not free to play.
Yeah, but CS started as a free mod.
Yeah.
So it's a continuation. It's pretty cheap now, and it's on sale all the time.
Yeah, well, Overwatch will be cheap eventually. It's just the initial.
Eventually, after the initial hype is worn off.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I mean, it's just like any other game. It gets discounted over time.
Yeah, but we're talking about making successful esports, which aren't just like every other game. That's the problem. No?
Well, yeah, but in terms of games, like I think every single developer that we've seen that come out that try to make an esport right from the get-go, I mean, that's failed. Like, we definitely have seen that. So just focusing on just having the game be popular first, I think we'll be fine. And if they want to sell it for $40, $60, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that what you're talking about is right. But then, like, look at what they're doing with Heroes. Instead of trying to like fix a game and make a good game that everyone wants to play, hey, let's just dump $4 million into the pro scene. This is going to be awesome, right? Deuce.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, I won't argue with that in terms of Heroes for sure. But with Overwatch, it's a different issue. Like Richard said, it's a different issue with Overwatch. I mean, the game will be fun and popular. I mean, we've all played it. I trust that the moment people play it, they'll love the game. Will they pay $40-$60 in the beginning? We'll see. I mean, but eventually, it might take like a year. It might take like a year and a half or 2 years before Overwatch takes off. But I feel like
the problem, right? Like, okay, even when you look out with Hearthstone, learn something from the experience. They just seem to be so stubborn. We can do things better. Our way is better. It's always their way is better. They reach out to the community and get feedback, and 9 times out of 10, they don't listen. Real talk. Everyone I talk to behind the scenes involved in like doing feedback for like StarCraft, WCS, other games that they've made, they all say to me, Hearthstone, they all say the same thing. We told Blizzard about this 6 months ago, and they still haven't changed it. And they're not going to. They're going to just do what they want to do. And I think, yeah, sure, don't listen to the community. Like, holy shit, like, those guys are a nightmare, right? Don't ever be at the beck and call of the community, for real, about how to design your game. Make what you want to make. But when you've got pros and broadcasters, people who are fundamentally invested in the success of your game, telling you if you change it to this, there's going to be a better time for everybody, and you don't listen, that's stubborn for stubborn's sake, and I can't really champion that. I just can't do it.
Fair enough, but I don't know. It's like I don't blame them for trying, like, to put just infuse some money into Heroes, because you can't just give up on a major title like Heroes.
I think they already gave up. I mean, some of the champion design choices and stuff. Like, I think they realized we got a casual game now.
You mean with like Cho'Gall and things? Is that what you're referencing to? Yeah.
I mean, that especially.
Yeah, I mean, it could be just an innovation, though, just to MOBA. The thing about Heroes is that there are some things that are innovative that could push the MOBA and MOBA esports to a different level. They have the ability to design different maps, to design different objective, right? Where we just see Summer's Rift like every single time, like in League of Legends. Heroes has the capability of doing that. They just need to change exactly what you were alluding to, just this whole team XP, team gold, just.
But they can't. It's so endemic. It's so entrenched, right? And it's the problem. It's the problem that the line between an innovation and a gimmick is so fucking fine. It's razor thin.
Yeah, but the two things I talked about are separate things, though.
But like, even the way they've designed Heroes of the Storm, it was basically meant to be an innovation. Let's move away from the individualistic style of MOBAs. Let's actually make it a team coordinated thing. They wanted to remove this. I think they were a little bit influenced by this overblown issue of toxicity in games. I think they were influenced a little bit because they were thinking about the casual player. They were like, you can never be singularly responsible. Like the way they're
screwing up everything.
You can never be the guy that like, hey, I'm just gonna fucking dive while they're all at Baron. Whoopsie, I'm dead. Okay, now they've got a 5v4, and everyone's like, kill yourself. Like, they didn't want that. I mean, even made choices about the chat where you can have people like, there's like no all chat or something, or you have it pre-muted? Isn't like the default where you can't communicate with the opposite team?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what the default is.
I'm pretty sure, like, I don't know. It's been a long time since I played it, but I'm pretty sure there was like some chat restriction stuff on there. Like, it wasn't just a free and open playground like it fucking should be, like it is with Counter-Strike or whatever.
Right.
So, well,
what?
They changed Counter-Strike.
Yeah, so you can't go wrecked at halftime. And I missed that. For real, I missed that.
I do. I think that was kind of sad that they got rid of the pregame and halftime chat. That's actually like really scary because I've never really seen, I guess you have more experience than I do, but I can't really recall like Valve ever doing something that kind of crazy before in a game. That's
and the way they sold it as well, like, oh, we're doing it so you have silence at halftime so you can talk about tactics.
Yeah.
Not really sure that's what's going on, dog. You feel me? I just got to reach into my super fucking expensive mini bar. This is a bad life choice right now. I'm gonna get a bottle of water out of there.
Oh shit! $20
bottle of water.
$20.
What are we doing next? Are we going A or are we going B, guys? Let's figure it out. Like, I don't know.
What?
For the halftime, what tactics are you discussing? I mean,
oh, okay, yeah.
Look at this shit as well, though, brother. Like, it's like the fucking plastic
bottle. It looks like vodka.
That's what I'm saying. I hope it is. It's definitely water.
I hope it's vodka.
No, but like it's there's them fucking cheap bottles that you brown bag on a street corner.
The Skrilla, this is like, over here, man. Jesus.
Okay. I'm bankrupt to myself. I'm chasing the American dream, dog. I'm going for the pursuit of happiness. So.
Pursuit of happiness. Okay, next up, So Nathanius was in a little bit of our friend Nathanius, was in a little bit of
love him.
A community whine, I guess you could say, or at least the Reddit circle jerking against him here.
Reddit circle jerking against.
I know, isn't it weird? It's actually really strange because Nathanius is usually a favorite of the communities, but recently
it's not actually strange at all. So here's the issue, okay? Nathanius is a little bit balance whiny on his stream. And when I say a little bit, I mean he's really balance whiny.
Like a velo level?
Not a velo level, but he's pretty balance whiny. But the problem is, like, for some reason, like when somebody does something bad, it becomes time to like unload every single fucking thing that you hate about that person, and it's like, oh my god. Like Nathanius had an issue where he's a little bit balance whiny. So somebody makes a fit like, hey, I think Nathanius is a balance whiny person, and then everybody's like, the guy showed up when he's like, I fucking hate when he says memes all the time. It's so fucking cringy, and then it's like it turns into a huge like let's shit on every single thing about Nathanius thread. It's like, oh my god, just like chill the fuck out. Holy shit.
Okay, so some of the complaints, right, were basically him being as influential of a figure as he is. Should he be whining about balance, as much as he does daily or regularly? What's your thoughts on that, Steven? Like, I mean, you're one of the biggest StarCraft 2 streamers also, and if you were just constantly basically crying over some type of unit in a matchup, is that a bad thing? I mean, you have every right to do so. It's your stream.
Yeah, it's fucking your stream. I mean, it's not. Is Nathanius like an employee of Blizzard? Like, what the fuck?
No, he's not.
I think if you want to complain, it's part of your stream. As long as it doesn't carry over to like professional broadcasts all the time. Mm-hmm. Although I think somebody brought up that he did do it in a professional broadcast. I think I could be wrong on that, but as long as it doesn't carry over to professional broadcast all the time, like it's whatever.
Yeah, agreed. It's just, anyways, it was definitely very surprising that happened to our buddy Nathanius, but just tells you, man, the Reddit circle jerk can happen to anybody.
Hang on. So I still don't really get what's he done. What's he actually done wrong though?
Literally that, just whine about balance every day on his stream.
Isn't that every StarCraft player?
No, like actually,
you lose. You whine about that, right?
Well, if you haven't played, God, I'm trying to think of like how can I break this down into like.
Oh, you used to sit here on this fucking show and tell me that any retard could play Protoss and blah blah. And Protoss,
yeah, that's different. Those are factual statements. We're talking about balance one here. No.
Oh man.
you see what I'm saying, right? Like, I mean, everyone cries.
It's
about
like it would be
balance.
like like this is like a really fine point. It would be the difference. Like, let's say I'm playing CS:GO and we're playing the only map on CS:GO Dust 2, okay? And like, let's say that I'm playing CS:GO and then I run to A long with an up, and that's all I do every single round. Like, I run to the round and then somebody shoots it, like, oh my god, fucking terrorist! And he flashes me and he comes out and I don't turn away and it's like, oh god, I fucking hate when they fucking flash you. God, fuck, holy shit, it's so fucking annoying. And like that would be it, right? Whereas on Nathaniel's stream, it might be like, oh my god, like flashes are so strong on T side. They're way too strong on C side. Like terror shouldn't be able to flash and just peek you and kill you like that. Like that's such fucking bullshit. Like I'm holding corner up, I should never lose it. Like it would be.
Players say shit like that in CS.
What?
Players say shit like that in CS.
Yeah, I know, but you understand there's a difference, right? Somebody would
stop
hear.
there.
No, but I'm just saying that somebody would.
And tell them to change it.
Somebody would look at one person and they would be like, okay, well, this guy, is just mad and complaining. Whereas somebody might look at the other person and be like, okay, well, this guy kind of balance wins a little bit. Like Nathaniel's balance win on stream is like, can be pretty hardcore sometimes. Like, I'll turn it on with my girlfriend and we'll just like watch and laugh for a little bit because it's pretty extreme. Oh, fuck, Nathaniel's is here. I'm sure Nathaniel's would admit it.
Can Nathaniel's come on the show?
Huh?
Or does he need to get clearance? From get Nathaniel's in if he's here. Like, get him in. I want to.
Is he in?
Is he in the chat?
Yeah, he is. I sent him in chat. He's there.
Okay, let's.
Twitch Turbo.
This is going to be harder to get.
My eyes automatically got a Twitch Turbo.
Maybe we can pull him. Maybe we can pull him in.
Oh yeah. Because we ain't using Skype anymore.
Well, we can pull him in on audio though. Let me get him. Oh, my Skype just. Steven, you're gonna link him this. Shoot, my Skype is acting kind of weird.
I gotta make sure I didn't remove him from Skype. Hold on.
Oh, actually, I can whisper to him. Let me just whisper to him.
Oh, okay.
Be easier.
I want to say that I'm very proud of everybody on Unfiltered. You guys are good people for not having fucking AIDS-inducing autism. Congratulations. You guys haven't sent me that fucking Skype bug. Have you had a whole bunch of people sending you that shit?
Yeah. I get it every day, dog.
I've never removed so many people off my Skype. Jesus fucking Christ. Like somebody, oh my God, so many people on my Skype list are contaminated. It's so annoying. I remove like probably 5 to 10 people a day.
Well, what I love about it is the way that they message you like a day afterwards going, oh, I think I got hacked. Don't click on any links. Yeah, I won't click on any links because I got a fucking brain. You fucking clown.
You mean when you sent me that message that was a shortened link that had my name at the end? You mean that wasn't something that I was supposed to go through and download and run? Oh.
Even though I've known you like fucking my entire life, you're now speaking to me in broken English. Hey, you look good in photo, baby. That doesn't sound like destiny, right?
Yeah.
You can't do that to me, dog.
Oh my God. Okay.
How people falling for this shit?
All right, Nate's on. What's up, Nate?
Nathaniel's. He'll figure it out.
Nathaniel's.
Well met.
Well met, exactly.
Okay, you can hear me now.
Oh shit!
There he
fucking
is,
whiner, dude.
I had it turned down
What
because Metal Gear Online has no push to talk options, so it's the only way to not have my voice go out. I just have it muted all the way.
Gotcha.
Heard you were talking shit.
So yeah, what's going on?
Nothing actually. Nothing at all, to be perfectly honest.
Yeah,
this all
I mean,
happened
what
after
is
I made like a complete satire video where I didn't say a single negative thing at all, and some people got really triggered.
Oh shit! That video was so salty.
I thought that video was pretty good. Like I intentionally was
funny.
out of my way.
No,
I didn't say a single mean thing the entire time. And honestly, I only did it because some guy made a really fucking funny custom mod that like I didn't even talk to the guy about. I was like, oh wow, this guy.
Did you see this video, ChanManV?
No, I didn't see this video. We gotta link this
Basically,
video.
Nathaniel's being a sarcastic fucking piece of shit, walking around playing against the insane AI, saying that there was a defensive patch that was put forth on like a Blizzard balance map. Basically, what it was is the Thors could use energy or HP or something to make all the supply depots into the overcharged pylons.
Yeah, it even used the photon overcharge graphic and stuff.
Oh boy.
Oh my God. Well, yeah. Anyways, like we were just talking about it, just because you're usually a favorite of the community.
Yeah,
and, I mean, lately you've been one of the most popular streams, lately. So
yeah. Well, I think that's why, to be honest, like everybody. I don't think it's been like a shocker that I occasionally get salty playing 8 hours of StarCraft a day, which I'm pretty sure anybody that is, especially any streamer, can relate to. I think
PvP as it is right now.
I mean, to be perfectly honest, like I didn't really like whine about balance before. Like, sure, there's some shit that's dumb. Sure, there's like that illest SC guy that tweets at you every time he beats you, and you're like, well, guys, this guy's like an obvious cheater. But obviously, chat doesn't react well to that. But I think it's just this month's been really bad because of the Koreans that have been getting beaten. Like anyone that watched T.Y. Myungsik in Bomber Seed knows that like immediately after both of those matches, like literally everybody lost their shit. So
yeah,
like it's just a particularly bad week to be talking about mounts.
Yeah, but give us an example, like some of the shit that you've had thrown at you, brother, because that's where I'm interested in.
Well, that's. I mean, it's nothing. I don't really have any intelligent people that hate me, to be honest. Like,
no, right, okay. So
the people that take the time out of their day to tell you that you should kill yourself or never play StarCraft again, or like become homeless and stuff. Like usually that's all they say. I haven't really ran into any elegant trolls. To be honest.
You can always pawn that Apple Watch, dog. So you'll be all right.
Yeah,
that'll pay for a couple of months' rent.
The thing is, like, I've not changed too much about what I've been doing aside from trying to tone it down. Toning it down has actually increased my viewership pretty drastically in the last 2 months, and that's where people notice what I say, even though it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah,
a couple of months ago, honestly, man, it was pretty fucking bad. So when people are getting rustled these days, I'm like, you guys, honestly, I'm actually been working on this for a while, but because more people see it, more people are prone to respond to it. So that's all.
Yeah, but hang on, I've played fucking Counter-Strike on stream.
Well, I will say this.
Gosh,
I need to say this. You can say that about StarCraft, but I've never said anything as retarded as guys. Flashbangs are really OP on CT side. Tuning into
I was just trying to
tuning into something.
I was just trying to find a way to make it so Richard Lewis could understand. All right.
Okay.
So naturally, it has to be retarded, right? Yeah,
I mean,
cheers, dog. Oh, you're back.
It's just like my friend Richard Lewis said. You either go full throttle or nothing at all.
Hey,
thanks, Steven.
If it works, baby. Right. So look, I think it's like what I was talking about earlier. I don't think it's got anything to do with what you're actually saying. It's just what fucking retard happens to stumble across while you're doing it, and whether or not he can gain momentum for his own little personal crusade.
Yeah, that's pretty much how I felt about it. Like,
yeah,
I really haven't done anything out of the ordinary.
Yeah.
That's like I've never even been like known for insulting other people. I don't like go on like epic rants about how people are stream cheaters or map hackers. I'll just be like, yeah, guys, my best friend Bomber, like totally his career is fucked for the rest of the year now because he can't play for 6 months because of this cheese. And like apparently that makes me into some sort of, second coming of Hitler. But outside of that, like, I mean, it's just playing StarCraft.
But again, like, so I don't know, like, I always think what you need to do when the community starts pushing onto you like that, I always like to push back, like, fuck you, like, so you've done that satirical
they just don't have any drama. StarCraft's just in a boring spot right now. There's been no drama. There's been no drama, no patch, so there's like literally nothing to talk about because there hasn't been a tournament for like a month.
We've always been such a community of drama. That was like the reason that people hated us hated StarCraft.
It's so retarded that people honestly think the StarCraft community is bad. Like it's the best community. I've never worked with a community where it's like it's so good compared to every other one out there.
Exactly.
Me being upset that my friend got eliminated from GSL because of a Protoss player that literally thanked David Kim for a free victory live on air. If me being upset about that, which is why I was a little extra salty this week, is like the worst thing ever. Like that's nothing at all. That's why I don't really mind. Like there's just actually nothing else for people to talk about. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're probably right. You fill in that vacuum.
I'm not even upset. I'm not even upset by it because I understand.
Hero we need.
People just want something to complain about. Like if that's what they're complaining about, then like really, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I really don't give a shit. So
good. I'm glad that streamer money changed you, bro.
Yeah, well,
man.
Most people with IQs over 100 can understand what a little bit of sarcasm is when you can see the person's face. So
yeah. I don't know, dog. It's sad to see the community blow up on you. There's like
maybe you can hide your face and like use a voice like alternator like Masan.
Guys, tune in. You can come watch Fox Thanius streaming for the next one.
Thanius. Oh my gosh.
What happened with all that? Like, wasn't there like a map hacking drama thing in StarCraft? Like, didn't some fucking notorious ladder hacker get like inarguably, unequivocally caught? Like,
Oh, I mean,
Didn't
like
happen,
that.
I'm sure
That
I saw
happens
it.
like
So
every
we were
other
talking about
day.
Hassan, but yeah,
But-
that was something.
Nah,
different.
not of you,
Different-
but
Different reference.
Yeah, different reference.
no. But yeah, I'm just asking the question because like that seems like it would be a more pressing drama than Salty Nathanius, you know?
No, there was not like big names I got.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, we're talking about like we want more people to be active on ladder. We need to incentivize ladder. You know, every other game's having a big fucking cheater clampdown right now. We had a big VAC ban wave in CS. And,
Oh, nice. That means no more cheaters in CS:GO, right?
and Cause not dog. That's that's a problem as old as time, right? As old as time.
Tale as old as.
But
Okay.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, just I don't know. It just seems really weird. And I thought, yeah, and like linking it to the Hearthstone stuff, like what the fuck was like? Okay, so I like Reynad, right? Like straight up, like he speaks his fucking mind.
We talked about it on Value Town. Man. We argued about it on Value Town.
I respect the guy. Like even though I feel like I agree with him 50% of the time, at least he's real. Like
right.
at least he's real. Like he comes the fuck out and he says what he wants to say. But like he was like talking about how bad it was for the scene to like go after people that were doing unethical shit. Like, and I have got the completely opposite view.
Well, I have the opposite view too.
So like, I agree kind of with what Reynad said. What Reynad's problem was Reynad was saying that the community is not equipped to deal with going after people. And I kind of agree because communities fuck up and end up witch hunting people's careers into nothingness and kind of like it's a really hard line to draw. Like philosophically, I think you could find problems and ways to support because you agree with that. I know you agree with that to some extent. The communities can be really fucking retarded when it comes to witch hunting. The only problem is that in this specific instance, he's talking about Masan. It's very obvious, you know, that all the evidence is piled against him. But like, I can understand why Reynad would say that the community shouldn't be involved.
Well, the issue with the general issue, yeah, he does have a point with that, but that point is in the case of when the person accused doesn't defend themselves. So like Reynad feels particularly strong about this because of the Magic Amy, the whole Magic Amy incident. You know, he signed somebody who was, you know, at the focal point of controversy, whether she, you know, was faking results or, you know, if she was really as good as she was, because there was all this personal drama that happened at the same time. And she just decided to just leave. Like she didn't defend herself. She just left. But I mean, said, peace out. And that's what he's defending. He's basically saying
the evidence was overwhelming in that case, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, not according to him. He has a different outlook.
Yeah, and I get that. Right? Like,
so, I mean, he knows more than we probably.
I saw some of the stuff because obviously, like the Daily Dot ran a few stories about it, and it wasn't my story. It was Callum Leslie, a guy who, like, even though we worked together, he doesn't like me now because I write for Breitbart. But I thought he did some good work in the Hearthstone space.
Yeah,
he's a character for sure. But like,
so you can see
I looked at the reports and the evidence he was compiling, and I was like, yeah, I mean, this is legit, right? Like, I would have put my name on it. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, so you can tell, you know, of course, he knows some things that we don't know, and that's why I think because the Magic Amy thing, he has a particular view on this whole thing. I mean, I argued with him for a good 30-40 minutes in Value Town about this, with the same side that you guys are on, or at least you're on, Richard, about this whole thing about, you know, just having this be allowed on the subreddit, you know, just being able to talk about these type of things. Because what they were arguing is that there's a rule. For a while, there was a rule where you couldn't talk about essentially streamers, you know, or even accusing people of things. You know, now we have a rule where you accuse them, but you have to have enough, you know, like the evidence has to be strong enough for them.
Here's the thing that I don't like about it. Like when people are coming out and saying we need these rules, right?
Yeah.
It makes the moderators who are just like
normal people, you
know, it makes them like moral arbiters, and it gives them this almost like judicial power over whether or not we go after someone. That just creates an extra layer of bullshit. You know, you got guys like fucking I Bleed Orange who, like, I don't even know why that guy's got a fucking hard on for me, spreading fucking misinformation about me like every fucking chance he gets. Like when his mother's not bringing him Hot Pockets, he's typing about me. Like, you know, like whatever the fuck. Like, it's just really weird that guy has, like, you know, power and presence on a social media platform when he's as much of an idiot as any of the fucking users are. Right? It's just like, that's really dumb, right? That he can. Okay, so if someone makes a thread witch hunting me, he's never gonna delete that. Like, He'll never delete that. He's going to be there just pulling his little piggly wiggly dick, thinking this is the best thing ever, and probably is actively driving it and putting it out there, and he knows how to manipulate and farm karma. That's his whole life. So like I got a guy like that who's basically in charge whether or not I get something bad written about me on like the front page of a prominent subreddit. Okay. Meanwhile, you've got other guys who are like, actually, there should be no witch hunting, and they do harm by deleting stuff when people should be held accountable.
Yeah.
So it seems to me like when you create like arbiters of this stuff by giving mods disproportionate amount of power by having crazy rules, I still believe it should be the community that decides. Like moderators always come out right and go like, upvotes can't decide it. Democracy doesn't work. Like it's amazing how like when you get a little bit of internet power and suddenly democracy doesn't work. It's never worked as a concept. Fuck democracy because I want to have my fucking safe space on the fucking internet, right? Like it's retarded, but that's what they say. They say upvotes don't work. Weird, because when League of Legends had a mod-free week, quality of the subreddit was just the fucking same, minus 1 or 2 threads.
Yeah.
So, it's mods aren't needed. In fact, if Reddit want to fix all the problems they got, they need to come up with a system to get rid of mods, not get rid of controversial subreddits.
All right. That's definitely an interesting suggestion there. Nate, you want to stick around? We're going to do some Q&A. Up to you.
I mean, I don't think there's any questions unless think a question be relevant for me to answer.
Oh, we've got.
Well, what do you think about the balance in StarCraft right now?
Oh, come on, you got general.
I mean, it's the best part is like I haven't even like whined about that though. Like my opinions are very well documented.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you actually care enough to know aside from the bait. But if you really wanted to know, like I could just like tell you off camera or whatever.
That's exactly what he was doing.
It'd be all
exactly
Greek to me, right? Yeah, I just want to bait you in. I just want to see if you'll ever snap. I miss you too, dog. Like I've been busy as a motherfucker.
Exactly.
Don't you live? Where do you live again? What's state?
Los Angeles, man.
I'm here. I'm in LA.
Dude, time to get drinks, man. Time to get drinks.
I'm in LA.
I'm flying to Germany tomorrow, but if you want to come over tonight, we can have some fun.
Yeah.
Come over tonight.
Yeah,
wow.
let's do it, dog. That's
sounds like a date.
I will literally come and pound some beers with you, right? Like I will do that. Let's do it. Right, let's do it. It's a date.
Come and pound. Okay. All right. All right. So let's do some questions here from. All right. Potato's got like 5 of them. I gotta pick one of these. They're all kind of crazy, but all right. I'll pick the most, the craziest one. Richard. Okay. How does Richard believe the pedo apologism? And this is for Steven too. The pedo apologism is definitely rampant, but rape culture is entirely a myth.
Because I look at the evidence and make a rational assessment. And well, that's the answer, right?
I guess so. Yeah, I don't think I have any views on that one. Steven?
Nope. Next, this is a whole other fucking thing. This is whoever asked this question should probably kill themselves.
Okay. All right. There's a question on the webpage. Oh God. All right. This one, Thomas Swaggerty, who we never got a chance to actually talk about Rod and his on the scale of 1 to fucking haggard. How thrashed did Slasher look in his ESPN interview? Can you estimate how many weeks he had been awake? Rich.
I mean, look, like we all look a bit ropey from time to time on stream. Like we all can't. Like Steven, it's a bit different for him. Obviously, he works, doing like Freddie Mercury tribute band on the side and shit. So, like he's always looking good. Like, but look at me, man. I've got Grizzly Adams. The actor who played him is dead now. This is my tribute. Like I probably look a bit homeless myself today. Just woke up in LA, a bit fucking, jet lagged and whatever the fuck. But like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Like I'll let it hang out. But like, here's the problem you had with the ESPN broadcast. You can't do a fucking a serious journalistic piece and have the expert who goes on air looking like that. You cannot do that, dog. It's a bad look for the industry. But people don't realize. All right. If you think that like after that happened, there weren't serious rumblings in the industry, not just me going on Twitter like, haha, you look like a drug addict or whatever, right? Like people are like, I thought this was a serious business. That's the guy. Everyone, is this a joke? And you know what I mean? Like ESPN have got to carry the can a little bit because you've got to slap some makeup on that guy. You know what I'm saying? Like, or you say, look, dude, you can't.
Did they have makeup on him? They might have had makeup on him.
Well, don't tell me that, dog, because that's beyond a joke. If that's the case, like
Okay.
Halloween makeup, yeah, maybe, right? But like
Fuck.
the point is, yeah, like someone's got to make an executive decision. Like this is ESPN coming into space. This is like how we're going to represent the sport first and foremost. We're doing a serious piece about performance enhancing drugs, which yes, I think they missed the boat a little bit, but it's still a topic worth discussing. I wish they'd actually found a more balanced panel, by the way. So somebody could have presented some contrary arguments instead of everybody on there either not knowing anything about the space, saying things like League of Legends players don't seem to use these drugs. Lol, I fucking laughed. Don't know about you. NA's got a fucking drug problem in League. Let's be fucking real about that shit. And all the pros know what I'm talking about, right? So, but MOBAs, they don't touch it. Like they're on some higher fucking plane of consciousness. They won't cheat to win. They won't take advantage. And here's the big thing that they should have asked. Where's the guy asking the question? Where is the definitive scientific evidence that this enhances performance in esports? Where is that paper? I would love to read it because it doesn't exist because no one's done their homework. And we're assuming that if we take what was a performance enhancing drug in sports, then it immediately is a performance-enhancing drug in esports, which is a weird stance for ESPN to take, don't you think? Because ESPN's president is the guy saying it's not a sport. So why do the drugs work? It makes no fucking sense logically. So the whole point is, like, what we should, there should have been someone there to ask the fucking opposite question, right? But as I said, this was a serious piece. This was a serious piece.
They picked it.
This was ESPN's flagship piece about esports. It's got to make us look good. And people fucking go on and fucking, and they don't look right and they don't know what they're talking about and shit. Like, come the fuck on. And also referencing stuff from like 8, 9, 10 years ago, like it's relevant today. No one gives a fuck what was happening 6 years ago. This is esports. It changes every 3 months. You want to talk about a systemic problem. Yeah, Halo obviously did have mad fucking problems with Adderall. Call of Duty after it, mad problems. But let's talk about what's happening right now and today. That's the whole point of the piece, right? And it was just ridiculous. It just came across as ridiculous. The whole thing. So yeah, he should have looked better. He should have looked right.
All right, let's see. Any other questions, guys? Again, you can post them at ChanManV.tv here at the Unfiltered 80 post. We'll take like one or two more. Let's see. We already talked about heroes. There's a couple heroes question. Little question. Okay, here's one. Is there anywhere? Oh, actually, no. I had to read it. Okay, I guess. Well, all right. Lil Pack. So Vildhart asks, "What's a good way to get into contributing to esports while being shit at writing?" It's kind of like a general question we always get, just how to get into esports, I guess. And writing is, I guess, I don't know. I guess writing is maybe one of the more...
That's the first time I've said that. Do I want my minibar replacing? No.
No, the question is, what's a good way to get into contributing to esports while being shit at writing? And I was just about to say, I guess writing is one of the more accessible ways of getting into esports. I mean,
kind of. You have to remember,
because
it's more accessible, more people can do it. So
yeah,
you have more competition.
Yeah, so I don't know. Answer that question. I don't know, honestly. I don't even know if you can volunteer at events anymore. I actually don't know. I don't know. Nate,
like, but what are we talking about? Like how to make a positive impact on esports? I'm always saying like
more like how to get a
negative
job.
Impact on esports.
Imagine you don't have any skills that could get you a real job for an esports company. How do you still become part of esports? That's like the real question.
Well,
wow.
That's like,
Wow.
I think that's probably right? I mean, like here's what you do. You end up like, what was the name of that crazy motherfucker? That old Doris guy. There you go. That's how you do something good, right? You just fucking wheel and deal, create a bedroom organization, lie to everybody, and then when it all comes tumbling down, you disappear for 6 months, change your nickname, and then beg for second chances. That seems to be what like 90% of the people in the scene are doing. So no, but I mean,
speaking of that, we just got a new StarCraft 2 team recently that just came out of absolutely nowhere. No one's ever heard of them, and they signed like 5 players.
Oh yeah, with Dez.
Imagine.
Has anybody heard this story before?
I mean, I know the new team
man,
started with like
everyone's gonna get paid. They're just gonna have to book their own flights and invoice the team owner and hope that he pays them back in 6 months.
Is Simon Boudreau back? Like, did his cancer get better mysteriously? Is that what it is?
God.
That was the guy that's didn't he leave like a Facebook post and like, oh, I had cancer, I couldn't pay for anything or whatever.
Yeah. That's the guy who peaced out, got cancer, it's real bad. I've got 6 months to live. Bye. Then people find his secret Facebook page and he's fucking partying.
Yeah, he's partying. Yeah, those pictures where he's partying. Oh,
cancer, baby. What? Like, is this like what the fuck goes through these people's heads, right? Like, it's so retarded. Like, but
getting back to the question, what's the most accessible route into trying to get into the esports space or getting experience, any kind of experience from esports?
Here's what you do. Here's what everyone needs to realize, right? Like, this is how your esports journey begins, kids. Okay, you have to go to the events, right? You got to get to an event, and you gotta just kind of hang out and just get a feel for it, right? Now, this is really hard because obviously there's a lot of socially awkward people in it. I don't know if you know this, guys. There's a lot of socially awkward people in esports. You feel me? So what happens is, right, you have to go to the events and be sociable with people who maybe are incapable of being sociable. So even if you don't have the problem, you're going to meet people who have the problem, right?
I mean, you got to drink 20 beer. You got to drink at least 20.
No. It's not just about the boozing and the schmoozing, but here's what you do. Like, okay, so like David Simon, the journalist who did Homicide Year on the killing floor with the Baltimore police and it got adapted into The Wire.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He said the best journalists just hang out. The best journalists just hang out. You just go there and you just hang out. And it's true for everybody in esports. What you do is you go to an event, you hang out, you get to know people, and then you start talking to them and you basically find out where the gaps are. Like you'll be talking to someone that you've seen 2 or 3 times at these events and they'll be like, shit, like we really need an analyst or something. And you're like, hey dog, maybe I can help you with that. Like, what would I need to do? And you get it, and then you have a go at that and then you probably fuck it up and you're horrible at it. And then they go, fuck you, I'm not paying you all the money that I promised you, and suck a dick. And then that friendship breaks down and then you're like, okay, but you go to another event, you meet somebody else and you just what I mean. It's like a smorgasbord. You got to just keep trying different bits because you don't know what your fucking skill set is. I mean, let's be real. You're talking about coming into this raw. It doesn't sound like we're talking about people who have like an education or a specific skill set, people who just want to get into the business. Well, that can still work in esports. It can't work anywhere else, but you've got to be willing to like go, hang out and network. And if you're socially awkward, a bit of a shut-in, it's going to be real hard for you, but that's how it should be, right? Like life can only work for the successful.
Yeah, it's you definitely the networking thing is definitely the most important part of any of it. Because like I had absolutely no friends or contacts when I started doing it, but
still doesn't have many friends.
Most show.
Yeah, but most of everything that happens just comes from like talking to people, and then they realize, they kind of like find out that you're not like completely helpless or incompetent, or like you can't have a conversation about something serious and stuff. So, going there is important, but also like going there and observing, but also don't be too forward because all the people there that are important that matter are probably really busy most of the time and usually don't have too much time to actually talk. So it's tough.
Yeah, going to the events I think is definitely the best advice.
And like, just don't be afraid to talk to people. Like, honestly,
talk to staff. Talk to staff folks too. I mean, you'll be surprised. You'll maybe get a volunteer job the next thing. I'm talking about just entry kind of position. Maybe you volunteer at the next event, the next big event, like you're at some DreamHack site or something. You can work the event, and then you get to know more about just how these events work and meet even more people, right? And it just kind of continues to lead on to more opportunities and more opportunities. But it's probably the best route. Writing, probably that sort of thing. Content and writing is not an easy thing at all. So wouldn't recommend that. All right, guys. Well, gotta wrap up the show. It's been
is that the alarm? Is that the time to go alarm?
yeah. That is like the
right.
But Nate, always nice to have you drop by, and we gotta have you on one of these times. Whenever some more drama happens in StarCraft, God, like seriously, it's been so quiet lately.
People aren't allowed to post about your show anymore on Reddit, right? That's usually how I heard about it.
They can.
So.
No,
they can. It's just ChanManV. It's not allowed to.
Okay.
I just can't.
I didn't see it.
He got banned. He didn't get the full Richard Lewis.
Oh my God, really?
I wasn't sure if they went like full clean slate on you or some shit, and you're just like,
no. No, we're allowed. You're allowed to come on and not get.
I mean, yeah, like
on Reddit,
it's
okay?
pretty.
I just can't
hilarious.
post anything. Okay, that's
Okay,
all.
That's fine. That's
I'm
fine.
I'm fucking persona non grata. Never engaged in any vote brigading or anything. Never fucked anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Like
So that's why I'm scared to come here, because
So
Richard will
fast-
get me banned from Reddit.
E-
Dustin will get me
ESPN,
banned from Twitter.
ESPN
Please.
content, that's going to be
Please.
fine. Free and
We
clear
gotta
from one
cover
guy
it.
who vote brigaded a site into the fucking ground. Brilliant.
That's
Fair
true.
system, right?
That's true. We got hope, man. We definitely got hope. But want to do some shout outs here. Rich, you want to start?
Yeah, for sure, man. Shout out to Destiny. Sorry, Steven, man. I was out of fucking control today, dog. It was like all me talking and shit. Like,
Oh, he's gonna have his own episode, so don't worry.
yeah. I'm real sorry about that. Like, you know, I do love you and Chris, good show. It's good to do a show. Like, I'm enjoying being out in America. Sorry, I haven't done any stuff for a while, but it was nice to get some stuff off my chest. Nathanius, I will definitely see you tonight. Get at me on Skype. And yeah, just shout out to all the people that have been, supporting me and my meteoric rise to American superstardom, and obviously supporting the show.
On the back there, man. That meteoric rise.
Have you seen the? This is a little bit unrelated, but have you seen the video of the two British dudes getting dressed in their American clothes?
Nah.
It's really, really, really funny. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, cheers.
Sure, shout out, Steven.
Thanks for ChanMan for having the show. That's pretty cool.
The Unfiltered.
Yeah, thanks to Nathaniel for coming on and talking to us. Thanks everybody for watching. Follow my new Twitter at OmniDestiny because I have a new one.
Why haven't we talked about this?
We talked about it last week, but
oh motherfucker, and I missed that shit. Right, but here's a real question for you, Steven.
Oh shit!
Am I getting more and more retarded, or are you getting more and more sensible, or is it both? Because when did I become the fucking edgy guy on the show? When the fuck? Why aren't you edgy anymore, dog?
I mean, I lost a 40,000 follower Twitter.
He's had his balls cut off. Like they're growing back there. They're growing back. They're growing back. They're growing back. They're growing back one follow at a time, man.
Yeah, that was. Can I just say that was like really fucking dumb, man. I love you and all that, but that was unreal.
What was dumb?
This coming from the guy that choked somebody at an event, man.
When I said I was
this is fucking crazy.
There was a legitimate terrorist threat. Nah, that was autism. That was complete. About all the shit that I've said on Twitter, that's what gets me banned. I don't know about that.
All right. Anyways, just want to close things out. Just thanks to you guys, and again, thanks Nathanius again for dropping by, and everybody for watching. We'll be back next week again. Actually, Steven, you gonna be here next week or not? You're going out of town, so you're gonna be back on Tuesday.
I might be home, but I don't know if I'll do a show. I don't know. Okay, I'll be out of town from the 21st, like the 25th, 26th. So I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty
close. On the 26th. So
yeah, we'll have to figure that out. But anyways, just be on the lookout for that, guys. Follow us all on Twitter. You can see again, and the show actually has a Twitter too at UnfilteredGG. Trying to get that up just for just unfiltered only news. And big thanks to we're trying to do something different with production here. So big thanks to my producer. I don't really want to name him out yet. Just don't want to give him DDoS or anything yet. So big thanks to him.
Can we watch the Richard Lewis video on stream?
Which one is that? All right. Last thing before we go. What's the Richard Lewis video on stream?
That's the flag one. That's pretty good.
The flag one?
The flag one. That's pretty good.
This Richard Lewis or a different Richard Lewis?
Well, I mean, it's not actually Richard Lewis, but that's what him and Nathaniel should do tonight to celebrate her Americanism.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't think we're gonna be doing that.
Yeah, I don't think we have the technology.
Exactly. But anyways, again, thanks folks for tuning in. The bots will be up later today. It's gonna be a little bit later just because I have to jet for a little bit here, and then I'll be back and put them up. And keep an eye on that on Twitter too. That'll be on youtube.com/ChanManV as always. And audios will be up again later tonight and into iTunes tomorrow. So definitely look at that. If you guys do listen to the show on iTunes or even just whatever audio feed that you use, be sure to rate it and leave comments and that sort of thing. It really helps in terms of like SEO on iTunes and things like that. But that's going to be it, guys. So for Destiny, Richard Lewis, and myself, ChanManV, this is Unfiltered. We'll see you next week. Peace.